Welcome back, guys, to the channel. Here today we're going to start a new series called Underrated Fighters. I believe that are underrated / forgotten fighters. So we're going to start off with the great Robbie Lawler. What a way to start this off, and I want to prove how good he is against some new fighters in the game. So we've got the first fight against Nick Diaz, and then we've got a fight against Shovkat, and then against Alex Pereira for the title. And these are all three back-to-back fights. So you can see, it wasn't like I've pieced together like, I've won one fight here, one fight there. These are three back-to-back fights, so you can see the progression of Robbie's style, because this is how I feel like he fights in real life. Not so much, you'll see in later fights I'll explain, but like, look at these fights. He's a sort of pressure boxer. So that's what we're trying to do here today, ladies and gentlemen. It's just pressure box. You'll see we'll mix in the clinch work rather well. As you can see, this Nick Diaz is coming out very aggressive with leg kicks. He's trying to pressure me up against the cage. A bit of the spam elbows, I know what he was a bit like. He wanted to throw these spinning kicks, but that overhand there was just to warn him. Like, dude, you miss one of these kicks, I will hit you with one of these big overhands. Just watch out. Robbie Lawler's a killer, man. So we're just slowly, just going to whittle these opponents down, and you'll see how you can make your opponent start believing. If you mix in your strike, your boxing very well to the head and to the body, you can start to make your opponent just clueless in their defense, and you can start making their reads to break them down. So here we go. As you can see, he's just coming out very aggressive with the leg kicks. I'll eventually get the timing down. Start check. I think I already had, done a good few checks, but so we're just slowly whittling them down, and I'm just going to try myself, because I know as soon as you take out the movement of Nate Diaz, Nate or Nick, you can start to then pressure them on more with your boxing, because you're able to gauge distance a lot easier. But as you see here, because his legs are damaged, he's going to start. I can feint the leg and pull it straight, or I can feint the leg through an overhand, But even though I'm slowly winning away here, I'm still being more cautious, because I know with the Diaz brothers, it only takes us a nice combination. But as you see, I try and rush here for the finish. I miss a good few. He gets up, but look at my stamina. Completely wrong move from me. And then you'll see with this uppercut, I do something completely different. I see he blocks the first one. Okay, back up. So I've got full stamina. Now I'm in control. He goes for a spin. And you're going to see, look at how I finish him here. I tried to sway. He does another spin. I'm like, okay. He's got to try and pressure me up against the cage again. I'm going to clinch him. One uppercut, boom, elbow finish, bro. That's the first one of these in the video. So let's get on to our next one with Shovkat. This one is, as you can see, it's like a fourth fight between me and this guy. So I've won 2, he has won 1, and this is got to be a challenge, because I know it's a skilled fighter. Plus, I've never came up against Shovkat. I've not came up against Shovkat a lot. So we're going to see how we actually fight against them here, especially with that range. I know he's got amazing ground, but my thinking is, if we can just, pressure him, get him thinking high, then you're, just like one to the head, one to the body, back to the head, maybe one back to the body, doubling up on the head, then one to the body. You always have to mixing it in here. As you can see, I'm just slowly boom, popping one jab to the head, jab to the body, just to feel him, just to get him to start, get him his blocking, his timing for his blocking down. So I can get his reads, and then I can get him to maybe, as you've seen there, he's blocking his body. He's I can feel that he is worried about the damage to his body. So I'm like, okay, so I can now then start throwing head kicks, because it's going to open up my body stuff. It's all just motion. You're slowly wearing down your opponent to grind them into the finish. But obviously, you also, in the back of my mind, I always know if this fight starts to go downhill, at least Robbie has that sort of that power, the spirit of the fight. You know what I mean? That is what I like to call it. Like a Gilbert Burns, where you could be getting dominated, 4 rounds by GSP, and you're just up against the cage, you throw one wild overhand, boom, game over. Like I've had that before, and it's, you just, when you have that type of stopping power, you start to feel a bit more confident. But you just realise that it's more about you trying need to maintain the stamina for the later rounds. As you can see, he's also came out he's trying to get my reads in, but this is the thing if you're smart enough with your fight IQ. Like now, we've got basically a minute 45 seconds left in the fight, and I'm basically going to hold him for about the rest of it. Not the whole thing. I'll probably end up putting him up, just because then I don't want him to get too confident. Well, I didn't want him to get thingly that he didn't want to go to the ground, because in case he was rather not equipped on the ground, if he's not got a good enough skills, I could have then utilised him thinking, I could go to the ground. He can go to the ground, he can try and control me, but I could then counter him. But I should have just held him there to put him completely off, because in the second round, the shove kit stats on the ground, he just completely dominates. But then you'll see how the third round goes, because it's all about the pressure. As you can see here, setting up these kicks, mixing in low blocks to the high blocks. He has to constantly bounce, and if I'd noticed that if he is getting that timing down, you just land 2 to one of the body or either the head. So then they're like, okay, now their timing has to change. But instead of head body, it's now head body. Just always have to be a bit smarter. Running up on the 7-minute mark on this video. So if you guys have enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you're new, please stick around till the end. And if you feel that these fights are good enough to earn a subscription, please, it would be much appreciated. But that's enough of my plugging myself. Let's get back into the brawls. As you can see, he came out rather aggressive, instantly wanting a takedown just to obviously try and drain my stamina so he could get comfortable in case it got back to the feet, which I respect him for doing. I managed to counter him. See, this is the thing as well. Robbie Lawler does have ground, so it's not just like, he's a stand-up warrior. He has also got wrestling skills, so that's what makes it quite an underrated matchup, fighter in my eyes. Because look at this, I'm dominating. I'm going to control him on the ground here a little bit, and you understand if he's playing shove cat that his ground stats are good. So look, as you see, I'm just even posturing up, sitting back down into side control just to make him think, he's going to throw punches, maybe land 1 or 2 just to wear him down. And as we see, we're back to the feet now, back in the element that was winning the first round with. And we're just slowly picking them apart again. 1 to the body, 1 to the head. 2.5 minutes basically left in the round. And as you can see, I'm just slowly picking them apart now. He's not really you can see with these combinations, like he's getting a bit more, like he doesn't know what to try and extend on. He's through the uppercut, I swayed it, I'm now clinching, because I know from the previous fight, if I clinch and land that elbow, I could get a finish again, because his clinch striking is brilliant. Here we go again, boom boom. We're just slowly picking them apart. As you can see, I'm not extending on my combinations, just whittling them down. Big takedown here. "45 seconds left." So it's just all about wearing them down. It's all, just, I could try and rush for a finish, but you're going to see in the third, why would I rush for a finish when I can get such a nice little combination finish, which you will see in the next one. this is why Lawler is such a great fighter. Is you know, even if you get dominate, get messed up on the ground, they're better at striking you. You're. It's like a Diaz effect, but like you've got a bit more stopping power than Diaz. I feel Diaz relies a bit more on the combinations, but you have to rely on the combinations as well to beat them down. Sorry for the rambling, guys. I feel, but like, I'm just picking them apart from now. You're seeing like he's just going. Look, I let him sway. Now his body's dropped him with a body shot there. Then we're just going to settle back down. I thought I was going to let him up to, just pound him. But as you're going to see, I'm going to counter him here because, boom, and I eventually probably just let him get up. Because there's no point. I know I can probably get the finish in this round. Yeah, there we go. Now we're going to just slowly pick him apart here. He's missing. Nice little elbows from me. As you can see, look, I'm just never thrown to the same part, like multiple times. I'm never. He doesn't know where to block now. It's been 3 rounds of just constant confusion for him, and now I'm just picking him apart. Body shot. Oh, I just missed uppercut. Beautiful finish to the body. I outworked them. I just pressured them down. It's all slowly just breaking down your opponents in these fights. It was a great fight. They really made me work for it. I'm glad for a brawl a fight like that, especially against a new fighter like Shavkat. It was hard. It definitely made me see Robbie Lawler's skills, test them all. So I have to be. I'm grateful for that matchup, and what was that? That was my 3rd win against them, but it's not like they were easy wins. So let's move on to the next one with the champion Alex Pereira versus Robbie Lawler. Now, guys, I'm going to be a bit more wrestle heavy in this fight, and I hope you all understand why. Because look at the size of this man. This man is giant. He is a killer. You know what I mean? Look at the size of him compared to Robbie Lawler. He can hit me from like halfway across the cage. So I'm just going to slowly just do the same as what I've done in all the previous fights, and just slowly try and like whittle him down with the boxing. As you can see, I'm trying to get the timing down. I was hoping with me being the shorter fighter, if I'm in close, like I would get the sort of speed advantage over him, but it just didn't work out that way. But as we'll see, it didn't work that way in the first, but in the later rounds, it does come into play. And you can see, he's just throwing beautiful combinations up against the cage. I just need to try and get off. What I really should be attempting to do here, what I should have attempted to do is clinch a lot more, just to try and back him up. But as you see there, as I said that, I do it. This is the thing, this is the funny thing when watching these fights back. It's like I'm like, oh, this is what I need to do. And then right as I say that, I do it. It's funny how, like when you're recording yourself and you're like, oh, this is what I need to do to get off. I find that stuff amusing. But anyway, guys, let's continue this fight. There are 2 minutes 50 seconds left. I'm going to, like, unlike the last fight with Shavkat, I know Alex Pereira's ground stats are just no, they're not like great. So I'm going to just I'm going to keep him on the ground for as long as possible. He needs to get up here. If I do let him up, it's to just pound him out, or try and get a better position on the ground, or just to try and do the Khabib effective, let him up, take him back down, let him up, take him back down. But I'm just trying to really, I don't want him back to his feet for a bit. But look, he gets this, and you can see straight away, boom, gets up. Didn't even want to throw any strikes. He should have at least tried to throw 1 or 2. Yeah, I managed to get all my stamina back. So it's not like I was really, worried. I thought, if he started to try and mess with me a bit on the ground, then I would have been a bit more concerned. I'm just slow, like as you see there, I'm just trying to, jab, throw the jab out to just try and gauge the range, and then I'm bouncing him with my hooks just so I know, like in myself, like where he is, and as you see, I'm feinting it to just try and to see what's his reaction going to be to the jab being out there. Is he going to sway? Is he going to just leave it? Is he might even get so confident that I'm not going to throw it. But as we see, sorry guys, I get a bit sometimes when I see a nice combination of freedom, like, okay, what's going to happen next? And you see he's just slowly missing it. Like, as you can see, the stamina advantage is starting to kick in here. We've got what, 5 seconds. I'm just starting to swing. You know, I did realise it was 5 seconds in the fight, and I thought if he steps in funky, I could maybe clap him with an overhand. But here we go into the second, and we're just going to do the same. But in this fight, in this round, sorry, you're gonna see right here, I refuse to kind of take a back step unless I've got no stamina. I want to be a lot more right in his face. I don't want to be at this distance where he can kickbox, or you know, like I'm just out of boxing range. I need to be right in his face. If not in his face, we need to be on the ground. Need to be clinching it, even in the open. And as you see here, look, I'm just trying to push him up against the cage. I realise, okay, he's blocking up, you know, from me pushing him on my kicks against the cage. So I just let him go. Now we go back to the boxing. Now I can control the range from being in really tight to now I'm out, and now I'm rocking him to the elbow. You know, just all these things. I'm just mixing it all together. Let him up to just then pressure him right again. Don't want him to breathe. I want the actual player to be like, oh my god, like he's let me back up, but oh my, he's still right there, he's still throwing. But not to the point like I'm hunting for the knockout. It's just to make him make mistakes. It's not like I'm wanting him to, throw a big combination to finish him. I could, but look, I'm just slowly letting him down. And do you know how much more frustrating this is for the actual player? Boom. Look, just like he's throwing, I'm just throwing like simple stuff to just counter his big attacks, you know. And I'm getting drops, I'm getting rocks, I'm just playing smarter than all 3 opponents that I've fought, you know. So I hope you guys have liked this, you know, because it has been this is beginning of the new series of underrated fighters. We've got some very interesting picks coming up soon. You know what I mean? And I hope if you guys have never tried these fighters, I hope these videos are like a, you know, like a almost how to play, or like a sort of almost little guide, and give you the confidence to test these new fighters and, you know, for yourselves. But anyway guys, this has been a great video. It's been a long one. I hope you guys have enjoyed. There will be timestamps down below. I should have maybe said that at the beginning of the video, but you will see that anyway. There'll be timestamps. If you are new to the channel, please feel free to like, and you know, if you like this content, subscribe, and it would be greatly appreciated. I will catch you in the next video. Take care guys, and I hope to see you, I hope to see you around.